7, 10.
Hey folks, Ryan here once again with the CactusCon crew, and I'm here with Trunk, who just gave an awesome, extremely technical and detailed talk that many of us who don't deal with hardware at all are just like, okay. So, hey, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Well, it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Heck yeah, man. Awesome talk. We're going to get into it in a moment. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and announce some winners for some of our giveaways. We just gave away the Python Digital Forensics Cookbook, and the winner of that was Paul Ota. So that's Chapin Bryce's book, and remember, that's a digital book. I will be contacting the winners of all giveaways tonight, essentially via email. I plan to send an email, so if you did not use a real email, you may want to reach out to me via Discord. And then, of course, we have the Sans 4 months of free continuous Net Wars, and the winner for that bad boy is Tech XLAL 93. Congratulations on that. I was clapped like, oh, it's really cool. So very, very cool on that one. We're going to start some additional giveaways right now. We've got 2 copies of the No Starch Press Text Practical Vulnerability Management. And I actually received the books today in the mail. So this is the exact book we're going to be giving away. I have 2 of these bad boys. See, there you go. So go ahead and enter for a chance to win that little sucker right there. And we're also going to give away 2, also No Starch Press, $20 vouchers. So I'm going to put that code in right now. And there you go. So thank you to No Starch Press one more time as one of our in-kind sponsors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, Trunk, there was some really cool stuff in your talk. And you mentioned, we were talking off stream, and you noted that your reason for presenting this year, essentially, or what kind of motivated you. Can you speak to that?
Well, I think last year I was at CactusCon, 8 was it? Or what year? CactusCon last year. And Joe was presented on security cameras. I'm like, well, I do a lot of that similar stuff. Maybe I should present the following year. And I reached out to my buddy who does a lot of other talks, and he's like, yeah, for sure, man. You should totally do a talk on this article that I wrote. So I figured I'll give it a shot. And so here I am. And so thank you for accepting my call for paper. So.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah. When we saw that, we're like, oh, okay, that looks kind of cool. So shout out to Joe. He's been presenting with us since 2012, when I personally didn't even know, the B-sides, Phoenix was a thing. So he's an old schooler. And someone mentioned in the chat, I thought it was kind of funny, I wanted to share it. I said, the lesson essentially is if you want to create an uncrackable cipher, add a typo. Make it just really difficult. Which that's why someone else then commented on what was that serial killer whose cipher was finally cracked. What's that?
The Zodiac Killer.
Thank you, the Zodiac Killer. I blanked out for a moment there. And yeah, as I don't know if you watched the video yourself, the recent release, it was a couple months ago, it came out, and it was just a breakdown of, they decoded it, but it wasn't fully decoded, and they were wondering why. There was a transposition. Basically, he fucked up a cipher. Whether he fucked up or truly did it by design, but it's kind of everything blended. Video will goes through it, but it's another one of those, like, if there's an error in there, it makes it more difficult, right? So we have a really good question in the chat here. Question for power analysis side channel attack. Is there a way the manufacturers could build this where it wouldn't be vulnerable to this kind of attack? Like having all of the decryption be inside a single chip that would be destroyed when monitoring?
Well, I mean, destroy is not the way you would do it, I don't think. Obviously, you might have bit errors at some point, or something will happen. You don't want it, obviously, to get destroyed when you're doing it. Manufacturers, they do a lot of leveling, as far as, if one line goes down, the other line goes up, so that it's more of a differential signal, so it's harder to do. But you still can get some leakage out of them no matter what. So yeah, there's definitely some hardening that manufacturers do on them. Some of the security chips that you see, like the basic external crypto parts, they'll be a little bit more hardened towards this stuff. General purpose microcontrollers are not, so they're pretty noisy. So the problem I have with this guy was it's just so. Yeah, let's not go into that right now. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have to wonder, and this could just be like way left field because I know nothing about atomic computing, but I'm going to mention it right now. When it comes to like analyzing cork spin, and all of a sudden, as you analyzing it, you're changing its angle and all this kind of stuff. I have to wonder if in the future, chip manufacturers will move to like well, we're going to make damn sure that it only works and functions, but if you try to analyze it, like I don't know how that's going to all work out, but
Yeah,
that
I
can be
mean,
interesting. Question for you: how did you get into general hardware analysis? Like personally, I have many devices that have a JTAG, and I understand how JTAGs work, but I've never touched it myself. How did you get into playing with it and understanding it so well?
oh man, I've been designing programmers and debuggers for years. So that's kind of like I've been like way back when for JTAGs and stuff like that. So probably about 20 something years of experience doing like programmers and debuggers. But as far as hardware getting into it, like nowadays there's a lot of like Arduino stuff that you can do, and then you just start expanding on that, obviously, and start knowing a little bit more about the power and and learning what that means and all. And the thing I brought out, that chip whispers, what was how I learned the side channel attack, and that's why I gave him full slide, because it's so cool what he did. He makes it easy for all of us to kind of learn side channel analysis, power analysis, attacks, and that's where I learned like that kind of side of things. So
Do you have a preferred location? I don't know if you want to plug anyone, where you can go and get stuff like that. Like personally, there's a given name that many folks maybe I won't give them a random plug. I don't know if they want me to mention them or not. But that's the first place I saw the chip whisper, and it was like automated JTAG analysis, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Do you have a preferred place that you go to obtain, fun hardware to facilitate hardware analysis?
I mean, the new AEs, the guys that do the chip whisper, they're obviously the ones that made that product. As far as everything else, like Adafruit and all those guys have like little dongles that you get to learn things. There's things like the JTagular and stuff like that, like to like do like JTAG analysis and stuff. But you know, there's so many people out there on Twitter and stuff that have made awesome tools. For whatever interface you want, be it Bluetooth, be it a JTAG or whatever you want to compromise. So.
It's funny. Like we gave away earlier a BLE key, and I'm on the website. I was, I'll just mention it. They sell the JTagular. They had the chip. It's Hacker Warehouse is the one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, no.
It's a great site. But the BLE key that we gave away actually came from there, and it's essentially a Bluetooth low energy enabled tap, for Weigand. And I got it a couple years ago, and I was like, I'm never gonna use this. I'm never gonna take time to learn this. And seeing someone go the exact opposite route, like, man, like it's absolutely fantastic.
I mean, like you start out with drawers and like just sort of like stuff like that where you're not going to use. So I totally understand that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I also really really like your workshop. Is this your primary work location?
Yeah, for sure. Just worked out of my house. So really, when the COVID hit, like I'm already here, man. No, it's all good. Not moving anywhere. So do design stuff and have other people manufacture it for me, and then obviously go about it that way. So.
Yeah, really cool, man. I'm very, very excited that you could have been part of the show. Thank you again so much. Any last words or just?
No, thank you again for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to coming up with something else next year. So.
Yes. By the way, in previous years, we've had a hardware hacking village at I don't know how many years now at CactusCon. In the in-person CactusCon. Hopefully, when we're able to return next year, right? Folks can come bother you about doing some fun activities in our environment.
Cool. I look forward to that.
All right. Hey, thank you very much again, Trunk, and you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye now.
Right.